I mean, among other things, she loves to be able to go out and cook whatever she wants to cook. She's,
Yeah.
it's kind of natural. It's a beautiful thing.
Right, but you were at a store buying some other stuff. Anyway, so, and we're going to get to the book. I want to talk about the book, but just real quickly with what's going on, for a while there was a talk that Oprah was going to run for president. I know that she's not going to run, but you think she would be a great president.
Oh, yes. No, you can trust.
In his explanation about the importance of identity in a relationship, Stedman says that to truly connect with someone else, you first need to understand and improve yourself. He also shares how Oprah's powerful presence made him realize the need to define his own identity, a journey that involved both struggles and growth.
One, she's smart.
Yep.
She has a photographic memory. She works very, very hard. And so she has qualifications to do it, and she's very successful.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about identity leadership. Explain what that is to everyone.
Well, identity leadership is self-leadership, and it's based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself. So it really is focused on self-mastery, self-efficacy, self-empowerment.
When talking about relationships, Stedman emphasizes that wanting the best for each other can strengthen the bond. He highlights the importance of supporting each other and expresses his commitment to Oprah's happiness.
It's the greatest thing I discovered for myself, to be able to work on myself so I can define myself as opposed to having the world define me.
Right. And so how would you say you do that? Because basically you're talking about self-confidence, that you don't let somebody else veer your opinion or...
You don't let someone else put you in the box. So what happens when you can't define yourself, the world defines you by your race, it defines you by your house, your car, your money, your title. It defines you by your gender and tells you can't make it because it's a man's world.
As Stan reflects on his growth during their time together, he says that although sharing life with someone in the spotlight can be intimidating, it also gave him the opportunity to discover and develop his own skills and passions.
Kind of socially constructed and designed to control your own development. And so I created this process that starts with identity as the foundation for organizing your growth. It allows you to shape your own future. It allows you to understand your talents, your skills, your abilities, and your purpose. So everything starts with a purpose.
Yep.
And then you have to create a vision for yourself to basically organize a vision that's bigger than your circumstance.
As Stan reflects on his growth during their time together, he says that although sharing life with someone in the spotlight can be intimidating, it also gave him the opportunity to discover and develop his own skills and passions.
Yeah. But you don't think she would at least take the call?
She's good. She could definitely do a great job. There's no question about it.
But if
smart, she's creative.
I know she
great
loves
ideas. She's a hard worker. She's detailed.
Right. I know she is.
You can trust her.
She's the best. Does she at least have to take the call and at least listen and hear him out and
take
consider?
The call. She could be an advisor. How about that?
She could be an advisor, but she wouldn't. You don't think she would at least consider if he said, "Hey, look, for the."
In fact, she advises a lot of.
Stedman openly discusses the challenges of dating someone as famous as Oprah. He admits that her huge public image often overshadows their private moments, making it hard for him to establish his own identity.
I know a lot of suburban.
Barack is in office today because of her.
You think?
No question.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I think she's one person.
She was president of the United States because of her. And other people, but mostly because of her.
Well, I think they're huge fans of each other. If he calls her up and he says, "Hey, look, Oprah, our country needs you right now more than ever. We're so divided."
No question, she would serve in the capacity, but she's not.
Reflecting on their time together, Stedman talks about how he has had to constantly reinvent himself while being in the shadow of Oprah's success. He stresses the importance of self-actualization and recognizing one's own worth, highlighting how crucial it is to find happiness within oneself, especially when in a relationship with a global icon.
I think she would be an awesome vice president. I think you'd have to consider her, right?
Vice president, she would be a great president, but she's not political. Her role is to empower people all around the world.
But that's why I'm saying vice president.
Bigger than the president.
He speaks openly about the psychological toll of always being in the spotlight, admitting that sometimes the pressures placed on him feel overwhelming. Stedman recognizes that managing their relationship often requires a delicate balance, where he must constantly support Oprah while also pursuing his own goals. He discusses the emotional burden of living in Oprah's world, where expectations are high, while also acknowledging the admiration others have for their relationship and how many see them as a power couple. Stedman reflects on how this dynamic has sometimes left him feeling lost, struggling to maintain his own identity. Looking back on their shared journey, he thanks Oprah for her constant support but also recognizes that it can come at a cost. He shares moments when he felt ignored or unappreciated, which can be painful in a relationship that is often in the public eye. He emphasizes the importance of communication in their relationship and admits that, despite their strong bond, there have been challenges.
Stedman is at the guest house because you all know I had pneumonia late last year. And you can still hear the raspiness in my throat sometimes when I talk. And I had just gotten off of antibiotics last week because I had like a bronchial infection. And so Stedman was late to the party, understanding. Oh, he's one of those.
Stedman talks about the challenges in their relationship, especially during the pandemic when they had to stay in the guest house for safety reasons. They had to figure out how to manage their personal space in new ways because of quarantine. This time also revealed his feelings of loneliness and stress, pushing him to confront his own weaknesses.
Stedman was one of those going, I don't see what everybody's getting so upset about.
Oh, Stedman.
It's being all fear-based leadership. That's what Stedman was saying.
That's why he's in the guest house.
And that's why Stedman's in the guest house.
On the Oprah Magazine Instagram, she also gave an update on how he's doing, filming a video of him from outside the house.
He admits, in a vulnerable moment, that he often felt like he was living in Oprah's shadow because of her celebrity status. Stedman acknowledges that, even though he supports her in pursuing her goals, there are times when he feels overlooked and struggles to get recognition for his own accomplishments.
How you doing? Meals are dropped off. And not bad. We put the meals at the door right there early in the morning. Well, we're locked down here too.
The caption reads in part, quote, although he does not have the virus, the couple decided that Stedman should quarantine separately in the guest house after several recent flights and some...
As he reflects on how their relationship has evolved, Stedman recognizes their deep love for each other. However, he also points out that their relationship has involved sacrifices. He openly admits that sometimes prioritizing Oprah meant putting his own goals and dreams on hold, which created a complex emotional situation for him.
Where's Stedman?
Stedman is at the guest house.
Oprah Winfrey is getting candid about quarantine life. The 66-year-old spoke with Oprah Magazine's Ariana Davis, revealing that her longtime love Stedman Graham is currently quarantined in the guest house amid the coronavirus pandemic. Oprah explained why it is so important for Stedman to keep a safe social distance, revealing she has a pre-existing medical condition.
He discusses how important communication is to their relationship, despite their closeness. Stedman acknowledges that there have been misunderstandings, and it took him some time to learn how to express his emotions honestly. However, he understands that doing so is essential for maintaining a strong relationship, especially during tough times.
Oprah Winfrey recently opened up to Vogue magazine on her career, weight struggles, and her love life, including why she never married her longtime partner, Stedman Graham. She says the only time she's brought up marriage to Stedman was when she asked, quote, what would have happened if we had actually gotten married? And the answer is, we wouldn't be together. She goes on to say marriage requires a different way of being in this world. According to Winfrey, her partner did ask once for her hand in marriage. They postponed that decision and never spoke of it again. The couple's been together since 1986.
Oprah recently opened up about her relationship with Stedman in an interview with Vogue, sparking conversations about commitment. She mentioned that the only time they discussed marriage was when she thought about what life might have been like if they had gotten married.
And I would not have been able to fit into that. So you can read Oprah's full interview in the September issue of Vogue. It hits newsstands August 22nd.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here. to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.
In an open discussion, Oprah spoke about her relationship with Stedman, reflecting on their more than 3 decades together. She shared that while they had considered marriage at one point, she believes their relationship thrived because they chose not to follow the typical path to fame. Recognizing Oprah's destiny for greatness, Stedman reflects on how being in the spotlight often made him feel overshadowed, struggling to find his own identity while supporting her extraordinary career. He describes a moment when he realized their relationship was shifting, feeling like a supporting character in a story that was always about Oprah. This realization led him to question his own goals and identity in the shadow of her success. Stedman discusses the challenges of being with someone so powerful and admits that, despite Oprah's immense success, it has come with personal costs for him. He explains how the constant public scrutiny and high expectations have sometimes left him feeling isolated and lost in the relationship. However, despite these struggles, he highlights his deep love for Oprah and recognizes how special and transformative their connection is. He also reflects on how navigating the highs and lows of their life together has forced him to grow and shaped his character in ways he never expected.
This one is great because it's about leadership. But I've got a problem, Stedman, and it's this. Your central premise is that pretty much anyone can become a leader. They can evolve into a leader. I'm not sure I agree with you. I think leaders are born, not made. Persuade me otherwise.
Well, identity leadership, which is the name of the book, is really self-leadership. And it's based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself.
While acknowledging his own achievements, such as writing several inspirational leadership books, Stedman talks about the challenges of being seen as Oprah's partner for over 30 years. He expresses frustration at constantly being labeled as Oprah's other half.
So everybody has to first lead themselves. And that's kind of hard to do because when you talk about self-mastery, the world's not set up for you to lead yourself. It's basically set up for you to be a follower. You know, most people, they wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, they work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream. And they repeat that same cycle over and over. So if you did the same thing you did yesterday as you will do today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you?
Reflecting on their relationship, Stedman recalls a turning point when Oprah asked a hypothetical question about marriage. She mentioned that they probably wouldn't still be together if they had gotten married.
We have a system now, an educational system that basically teaches us how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back, get a label with a grade, and 2 weeks later we get the information. So we don't actually learn anything. So basically nothing from nothing is nothing. So the most important thing in terms of the 21st century, which requires you now to be skilled, requires you now to have some self-direction, requires you to be a lifelong learner. You can't do that the way the system is set up.
According to Stedman's leadership insights, genuine leaders must first master themselves. Using the example of how societal structures often impose roles that don't empower individuals, he explains how many people get stuck in routines that hinder personal growth. He emphasizes the importance of self-discovery, especially in a world where many feel like passive followers rather than active participants.